What's up, guys? Got a brand new video for you covering some projects I've been working on lately. I want to apologize, I haven't made a lot of videos lately. I've been really busy, as you guys can imagine, in the restaurants, cooking, doing a lot of other stuff, and just working in life in general. So I've been stepping away from a lot more projects lately, and I've actually had to turn down a lot of client work. So I know a lot of you guys have been hitting me up trying to get custom cars and locomotives done, and I apologize for that, but I just can't take on any more projects right now. I'm so busy, I can't get any more stuff done. I've been hammering away at some CSX locomotives. I'm still working on them. I've had these things for I think 2-3 years now, and I've been working on them. It's really hard getting locomotives done right now because they just take us so much time. I really want to just work on my own stuff right now. I'm building them all right out of my garage right now. I'm building locomotives for myself because I have so many locomotives I just want to get done. So I'm just trying to spend more time working on my own stuff. So, I apologize if I can't take on more projects right now, but that's just the way it is. So again, if you guys have projects you want to get done that are trying to hit me up, I'm just going to say right now I probably can't take any more stuff. I'm already booked up for a while too on reserve projects that I'm going to take on in the next couple months after I get these last few locomotives and rolling stock pieces done. I can't take on any more work. I'm just really trying to limit what I do right now, just trying to get done stuff that I want to work on right now. So, but I do have a couple cars and I do have a couple locomotives that I'm working on right now that I'll show you guys. That should be pretty exciting, and I have been trying to work on more of my cars and getting my auto rack train finished up. I still got a lot of auto racks to do, but I'm switching over with the fall season to hoppers. Now, as you can see, I've been working on a few. These are all AEX cars. To start this video off, these are AEX X Chicago Northwestern grain hoppers, and these are all Intermountain 4750s. All custom weathered by me, of course. The first one here is AEX 15635. This is a green patched Chicago Northwestern Herald car. You can see I just modeled this one off of photos. These are all salt hoppers, so they're pretty well weathered up. I did a lot of heavy grime washes and dark rust on the sides with lots of rust pitting, and I used a lot of chalk and powder weathering to replicate the fine dusty powdery weathering on the sides. On the roof walk, I did the chipping paint, which is something you see on some of these. You can see it gets down to the bare aluminum, it just peels off. I got the nicely weathered hatches on the top, which are custom painted white to match prototype photos, and then I did all the prototype patching on the side. On the underbody, it's got the grime kick-up spray with all the oils and everything. Lots of rust and grime work on the underbody, nicely weathered trucks. Patched ends, of course, kick-up spray on the ends, and then on this side it's pretty much about the same. This one took quite a while to do in terms of powder weathering and everything, but it came out pretty good, and I got the safety striping on there as well, of course. On the next one, AEX 15431, this is a more simplified patch where they just used some gray primer to patch it up, and then it got patched several times. You can see it has the 15431 patch there with the graffiti, which I hand painted on there to match prototype photos. It's got you can see the 3 different kind of patching. You got the old gray patching, the black patching for the AEX, and then the old green patching there where they covered up some old data. And then there's a lot of rust and grime coming down the sides, again with oil paints, chalks, powders to achieve that look. There's the one patch there. You can see the logo is actually chipping and bleeding through that, which is pretty sweet. And then you got the old ACI board covered up, plated over now. Nicely weathered underbody again. Nicely weathered roof with all kinds of effects there. And then on this side, pretty much about the same. Just some variations in graffiti, again matching that from some prototype photos I found. But again, it all looks pretty cool. Safety striping is all chipped up, starting to chip away too. This patch here hasn't chipped too much yet. You can see it's still pretty intact, but it's just starting to rust over a little bit. And then you can see, again, all that nice rust down the side. So that's another really cool in-service Chicago Northwestern car there. And then this last one is one of my favorites. I spent a lot more time on this one. On this one, it's got a really cool patch job that I replicated from photos. And then the AEX patch decals are put over that. This one's got some salt spillage down the side, lots more heavier grime. It's got some replaced parts on the handrails there where you can see the mismatched green color. Heavy kick-up and mud spray on the underbody, on the trucks, on the base, lots of good grime. The Chicago Northwestern logo is still there on this car, but it is very severely beat up. Lots of heavy rust pitting on the sides. Real mess here, just like the real one. And then lots of grime and stuff on the roof. There's a replacement hatch, and then again all that salt spillage coming down, working down the side of the car. That's achieved with powders and then oils. Here's the ends with all the heavy kick-up spray. Here's a good look at that splatter on the interior. AEX patch there. Again, these cars are just fun to do because they just weather in so many different ways. There's, you know, lots of options of how you want to do these. This is the first 3 I've done. I got a couple more out in my garage that I got to weather up, but I'm probably not going to make them AEX cars. I'll probably choose some different roads to model. Anyways, here's the opposite side here with some different graffiti. A slight variation in the way this logo is chipping. Again, lots of variations on the way these chip and peel off, but I just tried to keep this simple to the photos of the car I was trying to model. And again, it all came out pretty good. It's really, really nicely grimy. So I'm pretty happy with that. Alright, so that's that one. This next car I just got done a couple weeks back. This is an INTX patched 3-bay covered hopper. Again, a salt service car. This one is patched up, as you can see. It's number 27415. There's lots of heavy rust, oil, weathering effects. You can see I did a lot of grime washes. I did very fine streaking down the sides. Got the hazmat placard patches, new safety stripe patches, heavy rust and oil pitting on the sides. New data is patched up there, and then the roof is a complete and utter disaster. You can see lots of rust, lots of salt caked up on the top there around those hatches. Again, a good look at that rust. Absolutely consuming the side of that car. I'm really happy with those hand-done rust spots. Those are really nice. It got some scrapes down the sides too. Underbody's real nicely grimed up, so are the trucks. The ends, of course, very heavily rusted up. Just like the prototype. You can see that. And then on this side, pretty much the same. This side has a little bit more salt caked up on the side, kind of streaking down. You can see that's again all done with fine oil washes, done with thinner. You use a fine brush to do that, and I paint individual streaks here, here and there, and then I use a larger brush to do the fine streaks. As you can see, I got another car that is a better example of this fine salt streaking that you'll see in a second. But this is the INTX car, a really nice rust bucket here that I'm very proud of. This is the first model of this car that I've done from Intermountain, so I'm pretty happy with this one and how it came out. Also, great job with the Smokebox Graphics decals. Those guys do absolutely amazing decal work, and they've just recently announced the INTX decal sheet, so I got a lot more cars I want to do with their INTX patch sheets. But that was how I was able to do the reporting marks on this car, so I'm pretty happy with that. So that's the INTX hopper I got done. This next one's a little bit more simple. This is a more modern salt car. This is CMO 13592. This one is weathered up, and again, it's got couple light washes down the side, but the real attention and focus is on this salt streaking. You can see how extensive that is, and it's very fine. You can see the safety striping starting to peel off on the side. The logo's starting to get chewed up. Lots of good grime and kick up on the underbody with the rusty wheels and trucks. All nicely enhanced with that salt streaking, and again the nicely done hatches, roof walks on the top. And then on this side, pretty much the same. Not too much graffiti. There's some small little tags here and there, but I kept it pretty simple. I really, again, wanted this to feature the streaking. I see these cars on a regular basis here in Ohio, so I modeled one. I had a couple more, but I just ended up selling the cars because I'll honestly probably never get around to weathering them. So I have one at least, and I'm pretty happy with it. This one has a little bit more beat-up logo on this side, and then on the ends, pretty simple. You do got the kick-up spray on the interior. It's kind of hard to see, but it's there. It's all enhanced with oils and powders. But again, I'm pretty happy with how that one turned out. That's a really nice looking car, and it's ready to go into service on my layout when that's done as a modern salt hopper. So that's a couple of the cars I've gotten done, and I have a bunch more salt hoppers I'm working on. I got like freaking 20 I'm working on right now. It's freaking ridiculous. I got actually some update videos coming up here pretty soon on some more cars coming, and I actually have 3 how-to weathering videos that I'm going to be posting pretty soon on how to weather some of these cars, so you guys can keep an eye out for those. So I'm going to go ahead and change subjects here, keep it fresh, move on to some different cars for this next clip here. Switching gears here, I got some larger cars. These are 2 Walthers auto racks. These are actually the last 2 Walthers tri-level racks I've gotten done. This one is a CP rail rack. These CP rail racks are really cool. They weather all kinds of different ways. This one has the beat-up logos on the panels, so I chipped those away with some silver paint to make it look like they're peeling off. Got the hand-painted graffiti. I had to use some prototype photos to get the hand-painted graffiti there. Down the side, I got the safety stripes put over that. Lots of fine rust streaking with oils. Got the safety striping added there, the variation in safety striping. I got some nice grime work on the panels, and then on the end some, again, really cool personal tags. Lots of hand-done graffiti there. The roof is pretty simple, just a heavy rust wash, and a lot of grime on the underbody, on the trucks and everything. On this side, again, a really nice prototype graffiti I found a picture of, and I painted on this car. And you can see it looks very, very nice. Got some older graffiti there, some newer stuff. The lettering has been patched out at the bottom along with the safety striping. But all that looks real good. All hand-painted graffiti. Some small tags there. But this one came out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. It's a nice general in-service car with the graffiti and the light weathering. Not too crazy again, as you can see. I keep these pretty simple, and I did upgrade this and the other car with the long shank KD couplers. This last one here, a little bit more heavily weathered. This is an older car. Another CP rail rack, though. You can see it's got the black sill, which are getting harder to spot, but it's got the old safety striping peeling away. Got a new safety striping, which is starting to peel away. Couple sets of different safety stripes. I really like to focus on the attention to details like the rust streaks on the panels, the variation in safety striping, the safety striping chipping, lots of rust and everything, grimy trucks and wheels, some scratches on the base posts, lots of streaking coming down from those little panels, as you can see. And the CP rail logo's just starting to chip away at the top there, as you can see. Lots of, again, fine rust spots and pits. And then the roof is a little bit rustier on this one, as you can see. This is a bi-level. This is a tri-level in the back. I forgot to mention that. So this is the bi-level. And again, it has the KD upgrade on the end. It's got the kick-up grime spray on the ends. And then on this side, it has some graffiti, which again, I found photos of similar cars, not exactly this number, but similar cars, and I copied the graffiti off another car for this one. As you can see, get some really nice graffiti there. And again, some small tags, lots of work on the undersill, mainly because there's so much going on with the streaks, the rust spots, the pitting, the scratches, peeling, safety striping, that kind of thing. There's a logo there. Oh, it looks really good. And then there's the heavy grime kick up on the end there. So again, these are really nice. These are fun cars to weather up. They take a lot of time, but they're always really nice when you get them done. I got some Intermountain racks I'm going to work on next, and I got some of the Scale Trains racks I got to get done. So those are going to be fun to work on next. I'll probably save those for a winter project here, but for now I'm going to be trying to focus more on the hoppers. But those are the last two auto racks I got done that are the Walthers cars I have, so I'm really happy with those. This next car is a DJJX Gondola, one of the long ones from Exact Rail. This car here is not a scrap gon. This is actually used in pipe service. So these weather a little bit differently than scrap gondolas. They don't get as beat up, but they still do get pretty grimy. And this is an Exact Rail car, so it's nicely detailed. What I did with this one is I faded the black down first, and then I layered on the fine rust washes. I then painted all the individual little pits and gouges and enhanced those with powders. I got the hand painted and drawn graffiti. As you can see, I got the beat up DJJX logo. New safety striping is added. You can see the fine scratches there. Got the graffiti there on that end, and then on the interior here is pretty cool. You can see there's a lot of like debris, lots of streaking on the interior, some scratches. You got the wood boards, which I hand cut and stained and put those in there. Those are the little bits and pieces of the framework that they use to support the pipes. Got the numbers stenciled on the interior, just spray painted in there, just like the prototypes have. That's something I've been working on. Again, you can see the little puddles of water in there, which I actually modeled with oil stains. So when you look at this, you can see it actually matches up with the panel seams on the interior of the guns, just like the real thing too. That's something I've really been trying to focus on modeling, and that turned out really well. That's with oil stains again. Lots of powder work on the interior. Ends with the kick up, pretty normal. Some scratches. This side has the really cool prototype graffiti. So it's got some smaller tags there, older tag there with some patches over the safety striping, and it's got these larger tags here which look really, really nice. There's the patching over. Again, that all looks really nice. I only need one of these. I'm not going to try to get more. These are kind of rare from Exact Rail anyway, so I only need really the one I can have floating around. But it's a really cool modern gondola. And again, I've had this car for 5 years now. It took me this long to actually get around to weathering it. That's how backed up I am on my own projects. So, but again, this one turned out really good. I absolutely love these Exact Rail cars. They're absolutely gorgeous models to weather, especially if you get them right, get them looking good. So that's the Exact Rail car I got done. I'm really happy with that one. Alright, I got two more gondolas for you guys to check out here. These are a long time works in progress here. These are two Walthers BN wood chip cars I converted into C&D haulers for MWCX. Now these are older cars. These were used back in the early 2000s before a lot of more of these more modern cars were built. They were using old wood chip cars that they retired and refurbished for C&D service. They would put these interior braces on them and basically load them open top with construction demolition from New York and New Jersey. These two I modeled are old prototypes. They no longer exist, but I have models of them at least now. Anyway, the first one is MWCX 500 788. Upgraded this one to Katy couplers, metal wheels on the trucks. On the sides, I dented them out with my heat technique. Got a lot of damage. I did a lot of carving on the sides with a dental pick to model the really large gapes and scratches on the sides that these ones get. Faded down the car body with bright yellow to get me the right green color that these cars have. And then I did the custom green patches, used custom decals, added the safety striping, custom graffiti, mud splatter weathering effects, oil weathering effects for the scratches and gouges, the rust spots and little pits and everything that you see on the sides, which all came out really good. And I enhanced those with some powders. You can see the custom MWCX decal logo there. On the interiors of these, they have custom-made C&D loads, which I made from styrene, wood, scrap metal, trash bag material, all kinds of little scrap bits. And you can see all the extensive rust work on the interior. There's that custom-made styrene brace, which I scratch built. Great look at that load, though. I'm really happy with how the load turned out. On the opposite side of this one, if I get it turned around here, this one has some really cool mud splatter on the sides, which I did with some oil rendering. I took some oil paint, put it on there, and then streaked it down with a little bit of thinner and a large brush to get that effect. And again, you can see all that graffiti, lots of mud and grime on the trucks, rusty wheels and everything. And there's a really good look at the side. This one has a little hole on the side too, which is pretty cool. Really, I'm just going to let the weathering speak for itself here. You can tell just how much effort went into this to get these to look right. I'm very happy with it overall, though. It just came out awesome. So that's my favorite one right there, is the 500 788. The second one I built is 500 566, and I think you can still find photos of this one, but I think there's only one or two photos of this one in real life. But again, I think these were scrapped in like 2009, so they don't exist anymore, unfortunately. But this one here, a little bit more unique patching. You can see they patched the interior there. It's got some unique patching and car body re-weigh data there. But again, pretty much the same effects. This one has this very severely bulged panels on the sides, lots of car body dents and dings. It's got the tie-down braces custom made and installed there. Cool graffiti, cool weathering overall. And again, there's the interior of this one with all the trash. It looks pretty cool. And then on this side, you have pretty much the same thing. Again, there's a look at those crazy looking dents. Take a look at those. Pretty crazy, huh? Looks really cool, though. So overall, I'm really happy with these. Like I said, they were a long project, but I'm happy to have them done and ready to go into service. I really like them. So overall, these are really cool, but I will definitely not be making any more of these. These were an absolute nightmare to get done. And keep motivated on, keep working on, like I said, because they were just so much work and there were so many steps to doing them. You know, every part of this car was a labor of love, really, to do them. So, but anyway, they're done, and I'm really happy with them. So there's the two wood chip C&D conversion cars that I just got done. Pretty happy. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up with two locomotives so far. I got this one, which is a client work. I've had this one for, like I said, about 2 years now. I've been working on it, and I finally got it all put back together. It's all weathered and it looks really good. This is CSXT8323, a former Western Maryland SD40. There's only one photo of this locomotive that I know of, and I had to use it, but it gave me a good idea of how bad the paint actually faded. And this is modeled post 1989, kind of 1990s, so early 90s era CSX, when a lot of these YN1 units were still running around in this ugly ass paint job. And they fade, right? They fade really bad. So what I had to do with this is an old Athearn RTR SD40. I had to completely airbrush the entire car body, the blue and the gray, to almost white. The blue to a complete light blue, which I used acrylic for. So basically I partially repainted this entire locomotive, and I partially repainted all of the logos, like the CSX logo, the numbers, all the fine cab details. Added a bunch of warning labels according to prototype photos. It's got lots of heavy grime and rust. Custom painted the fuel tank, got really nice grime on the trucks overall, and I added the roof details like the antenna, the RS3L, which is pretty unusual. Not too many of these CSX locomotives had these 3-note horns. You know, a lot of them have 5 chimes like the old S5Ts, RS5Ts, early K5s, that kind of thing. On the front, it's got the new plow, MU cables, coupler lift bars, all the 9 yards there installed. It's got the CSX script number boards, which I really like. Those are installed. And on this side, again, prototype details installed, like the bell on the dynamic brake blister, the weird looking cab vent where they actually painted the number over the cab vent. It kind of looks weird. You can see that cab vent sticking out there. Oops, sorry guys. And let's try that again. You see how that number 2 is painted right over that vent? Very unusual, but that's actually what CSX did apparently on a couple of these engines. So I added that, and then again it's got the really nice work on the truck. I still got to install the little cabinet behind the cab. I got to put that back on. I kept that off until the weathering was done, but there's all that nice grime and everything. So that's a pretty nice looking locomotive. So this one's going to get boxed up and sent back to its owner. But again, I'm really happy with that one and how it turned out. Okay, so you guys will remember this one from my last build video. This is HLCX 6313. This is one of the last SD40s in this paint scheme. And you guys can watch the video on here on YouTube to see how I made this amazing looking model, how I painted it, how I built it and detailed it. But basically, in a nutshell, this is one of the last HLCX blue and maroon SD40s running. And this one is a very unique locomotive because it is a Canadian-built locomotive built for a Mexican railroad, in this case the NDM. So I had to do a lot of custom prototype-specific details, like making custom handrails. It's got lots of detail upgrades. I used custom decals for the number boards, the cab, everything, and it's completely custom painted. Added all the plow and pilot details. Lots of cab roof details were appropriate. I had a lot of cab details. It's got the really unique looking SD40 trucks there with the sanding lines installed. Fuel tank details done. Lots of cool weathering effects overall. On the back here you guys can get a look at that very wacky looking pilot with the weird CN style handrails. And then the number boards, which again are custom made decal sets that I had done with Circus City decals. It's got the dual beam headlight, and then there's a look at the roof here with the weird looking fans. And the paint scheme. Again, a really cool looking model, one I'm very happy with. And then on this side, here, pretty much the same. Same level of detail. But I'm very happy with it overall because this is a really cool locomotive. But unfortunately, this one's about to get scrapped now. It's currently at MEI in Illinois on the scrap line. It's just waiting to get cut up now, so it's very unfortunate. Unfortunately, we weren't able to save this locomotive. I actually mentioned I was part of a little group that was trying to raise some money to get this thing saved for a short line in Indiana, but unfortunately it just kind of fell through. So, you know, that's just the way it is. The railroads don't really care about history a lot of times, so we're going to have to just watch this one get scrapped, unfortunately. But at least the model is done. I have a model to represent, you know, what really used to be. You know, this was a very common lease scheme that you used to see, especially on CSX and Norfolk Southern back in the 2000s, and this is one of the last of them to wear the scheme. But again, it's a really cool locomotive, and I'm really happy I have a model of it now, and it's completed and pretty much ready to go. So, there we go, 6313. I got another I'm working on, but I'll save it for another video. I got more hoppers and locomotives I got to show too, but again, going to get saved for another video because I got a lot more to show. Anyways, this will wrap it up for this video, guys. Thank you for watching. Be sure to stay tuned for more. I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy, y'all.